Update that. What's up, everybody? What's
What
good
it
out there?
is. Happy Wednesday. Hey, did y'all miss us? Well, we
I
missed
know,
y'all.
right?
We missed y'all for sure.
Man, we gotta start doing this more often, man, because I be wanting to go live every day.
Hey, man, listen, as we continue to progress forward, my brother, and we continue to learn and grow, that's what mentors and coaches do. They expand their breadth of knowledge and then they pass it on to other people. Why? Because can't take it with us. It's no good in the afterlife, right? So we got to make sure that everybody who's here, right now, under the sound of our voice, can use any and all the valuable information that we've come across. And my man, hey, you sent me a link to an ebook
Woo!
YouTube, man, that I
Did,
can't wait to start digging into.
hey, man, I'm telling you, I was listening to it, and 20 minutes in when he started hitting hard, pop, 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 pop. I had to keep pausing and going back, like, what did he say? Great book, you all. But Happy New Year again. Is it too late in the new year to be still saying that?
Hey man, it is what it is. Happy New Year still. Hey, if you didn't hear us last week, we'd love to see y'all in the comments and hear how y'all celebrated y'all's New Year's and how it was getting off to a great start. And if it's not, hey, let us know too, and maybe we can give you some tips to help you improve and take some action in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hey, I know a lot of you all have been, I mean, the internet got broke last week. last week. And I apologize. Something went down the wrong pipe. But and it's always irritating when you start talking. But the internet got broke last week. For those that are not aware, Katt Williams, one of my top 5 guys. I love Katt, and I got a story about Katt. Um, when For those that know, when I was away, when I came home, the first, because when I went away, I was too young to go to comedy shows. So my first comedy show when I came home was Katt Williams on the Pimpin' tour. So fell in love with Katt. I knew about him already, but he's always been the guy, man. And he always had some type of conspiracy theory mixed into his comedy. And I love that about him. He would touch on politics and race issues. And, if for those that didn't watch the episode, go out there and support Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp, one of the guys that I look up to with this podcast game, because he's out there winning. And I love how he, just tells his stories. You all, if you're not following Shannon Sharp, go out there and follow him. Follow him and Ocho on Nightcap. They funny, you all. Like, you are gonna learn something and laugh the whole time. I even got my wife watching it. Like, this is something we don't even watch TV, but we watch them religiously because they keep me up on my sports, because I stopped watching the games, but they keep me up on my sports. And they put in some real country dudes, some real country bumpkins, boy. Uh, but no, this whole segment, we always want to know what's the formula to everything adulting, to everything that's going on. And Katt touched on some things that were so valuable. But I just wanted to do that intro of, what I think of Katt Williams and him being a truth teller. And here's the thing: dispute what he said. Now, he went at a lot of people, and we're not even going to touch that. But I knew about a lot of this before he ever did this live. Like, these things, this isn't new. What he's talking about, he just brought it and dropped a bombshell right after the New Year, the kickoff Club Shay Shay. And shout out to my guy. He got his own cognac and he's doing well, winning awards. So mad love to Shannon Sharp, you all. If any of you all know him, send him this. But bro, you got anything on Katt before I want to show this clip real quick of something Katt has said that is so impactful to our teenagers.
Now, I mean, before you play the clip, I mean, I have my theory on the timing of everything that is coming out. Simply because I saw this post that said that he was going on tour with like Kevin Hart's ex-wife or something. And so she's gonna be
Right.
like opening up with him. So it's all publicity. However, the truth is the truth, no matter how it's presented. Hey, but why not make a few dollars off of it? So that's how I see it, man. But comedy, movies, music, entertainment, like they have a way of incorporating truth into them. Like people think,
Yes.
oh, it's just all laughs and giggles, man. But if you really listen to the things that these comedians are saying, like they be dropping some truth bombs in there. And yeah, just like back in the day, George Carlin. I'm not sure if you heard of George Carlin.
Heck
I'm
yeah.
sure you have. Yeah, he was like a famous, stand up guy, and he just, to me, it wasn't comedy. It was more like, hey, this is what the truth is, and I'm gonna just stand up in front of an audience and tell it. But yeah, like the truth is always hidden in plain sight, and it's the least obvious things, or the most obvious things that really, catch you off guard because you're like, hey, it was right here the whole time. But we
Right.
tend not to see the things that are right in front of our face. So
Facts, bro. And here's the thing about comedy, you all. It ain't even funny if it's not relatable. If it doesn't seem real, that's what makes it so funny. You like, wow, I never even thought about this. I never thought about that. But um, yeah, and the queen is out there. That did bring us together because she didn't know nothing about sports. I think she got a silent crush on Shannon. So that's why she wanted to watch because he real muscled up and rich. So
but you on your way though.
I'm
You
trying
on
to
your
get
way to
there.
get
I'm
boy.
trying to get my little coins together and get my little
Yeah,
stuff right.
coach
I'm
Eb in
coming
the
for you,
gym
Shannon.
multiple times a week. Don't sell yourself short, Big E.
You hear me? You hear me? I
Uh,
accept all that. But
yes, sir.
let's jump into this clip real quick, you all, because I really want us to, like I say, he dropped some gems that was just, man, awesome. You able to see me, bro?
Yeah, I can see you on the side. Yeah.
I mean, see the extra screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen.
Okay. All right.
We should be ashamed. But this is a country where we don't pay the teachers, and then we say the kids is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. If you do that, we're going to end up with a generation that can't read. Guess what? Generation Z and A can't read. Why? Because who was giving them a book? We got an iPad or a phone, and now the letters don't mean that. There's no cursive writing.
Mm.
We
Man, there's so much packed into that statement, man. Like,
man, like
bro,
yeah,
like,
bro. That touched when he put that out there because you talking to someone who was once a teacher. Well, I'm still a teacher, but I actually worked at a college, and they said they couldn't hear the clip.
mm,
You couldn't hear it neither.
I heard it.
Dang it, man.
Yeah, I heard it.
We'll play it again, you all. But here, let me sum up the clip. Basically, Katt was saying that um, they're not paying the teachers, and we all know teachers and police, nurses, the most critical people on this earth, are the least paid. Now, let me use myself as an example. The corporate convict. I've been in corporate America as a project manager, a program manager, agile coach, scrum master, a lot of different things. I've wore many hats in corporate America and made great money. I make more money than a nurse, than a teacher, than a police officer. Actually, I make more money than the teacher and the police officer put together in corporate America, project managing IT. Think these people are saving lives or risking lives. And my salary is more than theirs. How is that even possible?
Why do you think that is, man? Like, shed some light on that. I mean, because like most people think that, oh, the harder I work, the more I get paid, or the longer hours I work, the more I get paid. So I'm pretty sure you work some long hours. You probably worked hard, but you wasn't out on no rooftops. You wasn't digging
Hell
no
to the no.
ditches. So what? So in your professional opinion, why do you think that you were getting paid twice what cops and teachers were making?
Well, I had great value in the marketplace. So not to underestimate what I was doing, but here's the thing: it's systemic. You all, they for one, the teachers and the police officers get better benefits than I would ever get. So let me make sure I tell the truth about that. They get a lot of benefits, and the system, the machine sees that as giving them enough. Plus, they know in order for you to be a teacher, I don't care what they're paying you, you have to be so passionate about doing it. You got to love what you're doing. Me, I could care less about any company I ever worked for because I was able to be bought and moved for the highest bidder. So my loyalty is not with a company, it's with me. But a lot of these teachers, they love children so much that they'll take smaller salaries just because they know what they're doing is so impactful. Now, let's look at it from a systemic level. What was school designed for, you all? Like, man, I hate that we're going to go into this, but you asked. Coach Demetrius, you know where I was about to go with this.
The people need to hear it, man.
Here's the thing, you all. The school systems are designed to create workers. It's designed to create workers. It's designed to say that if you fail, you're bad. Where we have a motto in my profession that says fail fast, fall forward. Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me I get paid more for failing fast, but we're teaching children that if you fail, you're bad. What do the parents do? I'm a parent. A child could bring home all A's and B's. Bring home an F. Man, they ain't looking at them A's and B's. You finna get a whooping. You finna get your head busted, whatever, for that one F, because that means that you failed. And the whole way this school system was designed by the Rockefellers to create a workforce and to create a military. Most people either go to the military or they become police officers, or either they create a workforce where they'll go out there and work at these factories and make the rich richer and the poor poorer. And we still buy into this, and they sell the teachers on the fact that how could you turn your back on little Johnny? They need you so bad. And here, take these kibbles and bits and work overtime. Deal with their attitudes. Deal with these kids cussing you out and snapping out on you. Deal with the fact that these kids have been running into these schools, shooting up the place. Deal with all that, and you're going to be the most underpaid on this earth. And that's the system that we live in.
Now, going, those are all great points, man. And just kind of touching home back to the Katt Williams quote, man, where he was speaking of, you know, the technology and the iPads really being, well, I'm not going to say they're at fault. Really, it's the adults, it's the parents that's at fault in allowing the generations to fall behind. But the technology and everything has two sides. Everything has duality and polarities, positive and negative. You can use a weapon to build something, or you can use a weapon to destroy something. It all depends on your, what we say earlier, your intention. All right. Ooh. So that said, these iPads and these iPhones and different technologies that, according to Katt Williams, and I do agree with him when he says that they're leading to the next generation not being able to read and write properly. But however, we must not overlook the responsibility of the parents, right? Because ultimately it's the parents that are facilitating the excessive use of these devices. I'm not sure how true this quote is, but I saw it on social media a while back, but it said that Steve Jobs didn't even let his kids use the Apple devices when they were really, really young, because he knew the effect of it on their brain. Like, it's really addictive, So, and like the same thing with social media. So I'm saying all that to say that, yeah, these technologies, these advancements that we're experiencing are contributing to the downfall of our society. However, we as adults, as parents, must take responsibility in the role that we play in facilitating all that. So that way we can make the adjustments within ourselves and our household to be able to reverse that cycle back to how it was back when I was a child, back when you was a kid. Hey, we used to have to use our motor skills, write with pen and paper, and that act of actually using your hand to make those letters and saying words out loud and not always listening to audibles, like that creates a different connection within your brain that allows you to be able to develop further and faster versus scrolling or just doing this, right? Like you actually have to grab a pencil and pen and write out the letter versus typing. So easy is not always best.
Man, yes, we live in, so I swear I was going to do this next week, but since we going there, and I'm going to pull up the image that I created. But we're living in World War III. And what people don't realize is that they're looking for bombs to drop, and they're looking for the traditional world wars, just like 1 and 2 in Vietnam and Korea. They think that's how it's going to be. But World War III, we're dying from weapons of mass distraction. Like not destruction, weapons of mass distraction. That's what these are, because they're hiding things right in your face. While the true war is happening over the internet. The true,
dang, you got fireworks there. You got fireworks going.
You know I did that, but
you on fire? Keep cooking.
Well, hey, that's World War III right now. It's happening, and guess what? Over in China, where they create these devices in Asia, they don't let their kids get on these devices. They're teaching them the old school method, but they're teaching them how to utilize these devices to their benefit. While we're teaching our kids, I'm going to be honest with you, man, and some of you parents are not going to like this, especially ones with young babies. Y'all got built-in babysitters. Them kids get on your nerves and want to ask questions and do all this. What you do? Put a tablet in their face and they sit right there like this all day long, won't eat, might even pee on themselves because they don't want to go to the bathroom. What is happening with these devices, you all? There's a thing in our brain called dopamine, and they're getting rushes of dopamine by winning at this game. Some of you adults do it when you're playing Candy Crush. You get locked in playing Candy Crush all day. You ain't made a pecan playing this ignorant game. You haven't read a book. You haven't grown. You're totally existing. So when the rich said, well, now that they have all the knowledge, we live in the world of information and technology. We're way past information technology. All the information out there, everybody has access to it. How is it that the same people keep winning and the same people keep losing? We go back to the parents, as Dimitri said, to us. We're allowing this to happen. And guess what? We criticize it. Yeah, we wasn't raised like that. Like Dimitri was saying, we had the handwriting, and we did. What Katt said was totally true. So what is the problem? What do they see us doing? What do kids do? They follow our lead. What do they see us doing all day long? But we want to blame society. Or this time of year, and you sit right there cussing them out like, yeah, them kids is doing all this and doing all this. Go do your chores, and you got your phone in your hand looking at it more than they are. Well, I'm grown. I got a job. I can do. You at your job doing this, sneaking and looking at your phone. Be honest. You do it more than the kids, and the kids see you doing it to the point to where we as parents, we can't even say nothing to them no more because what we doing. We feel guilty. How we gonna take their device, but you got yours glued to your face? And if you being 100, you are not looking and reading no books. You are scrolling, looking for garbage, looking to see some exciting stuff. Oh, there go one shot of dopamine. We get so much dopamine that we wonder why we have to get drugs to stimulate us, and the kids are walking around looking like zombies because they done wore out their dopamine rush. Man, look, let me be quiet.
Hey,
man.
and there's actually
Everybody gonna
science
like us.
behind. Yeah, there's science behind these social media apps, man. Like I read a while back that like just the act of pulling your finger down to refresh the feed, like on Twitter or something, it they designed it like that not only because it's simple, but because it resembles like the motion of you pulling like the slot machine handle. You know, you keep on put, and we all know how addictive slot machines are. It's easy, as simple as one motion, you know, and then like you get that instant, you know, fix, like that next, like that new feed, that new content that's always refreshing and popping up. So yes, a lot of like these quote unquote powers that be, they study us, right? They know us better than we know ourselves. Like that's how, like he said, the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer, right? It doesn't have to be like that, but they've studied the human psychology, the human brain, the emotional state of us so well that they've told us that we need to manipulate ourselves through these devices and through these drugs and the different food. It's a whole onslaught. It's not just, you know, World War III is not just the distraction. That's a big part of it. But, you know, we're susceptible to the distractions because of the chemicals that's in our food and our water and our air. Like we're being poisoned on a constant basis, but I don't want to go down that road. But I'm just letting you all know that it's a whole onslaught of factors that contribute to us not being where we need to be, and our kids, right? So it all comes back to us. My whole point of saying that is that watch what you consume, not only physically, but mentally. And you know, that's gonna also bleed over into your relationship with your kids. Because they're, like you said, they're gonna see what you're consuming physically, what you're consuming in your mental, what you're watching. And then because you're gonna end up speaking, you're gonna repeat that to them, and they're gonna repeat what you said to them. So if you don't want to see the worst in your teens and your kids, you have to be the best version of yourself so they can mimic that.
Ooh, man, fireballs in the chat. Put some fireballs in the chat for Dimitri, because he spit. And I see out there the young king or queen, grand boy. So young king out there that's reading on that 7th grade level. I love it. And here's the thing, you all. If you focus on your parenting, it doesn't matter what's going on in society. It doesn't matter what's going on in the school systems. It doesn't matter, because you're taking care of home. You're taking care of home. They're just shelving, like it's mass produced children being pushed through the system. No child left behind. One of the worst things they could have ever did, because some of these kids need to be left behind, because it'll let these parents step up and realize little Johnny needs to get better. You know, so we want to just push them through. I went through, man, I'm using myself as an example. Even in my day, in the 80s, when I was in school, in the early 90s, they pushed me through junior high school, man. I had all the F's. They still graduated me, still pushed me to the next grade. And it wasn't because I didn't know what I was doing. It's because I didn't give a damn about school. But they didn't want me in that school, so they trying to push me out. So this stuff is so systemic, you all. So again, as Dimitri stated, back to the parents. Stop relying on the schools to raise your children. Stop relying on the devices to raise your children. If you raise your children correctly, they can take these devices and change the entire world. Because these devices are great if utilized. It's just like a gun or a knife. We ain't even got to go guns, because people think of a knife. You can take a knife and chop up some vegetables and make a healthy meal, or you can stab somebody to death. It don't mean that the knife is wrong. It means that whoever has their hand on the knife needs to be taught the correct way to utilize a knife. And that's your job as a parent, to do the teaching instead of saying, send them to school, send them to daycare, let them deal with it. And those teachers can only do so much. They're giving a curriculum, they're giving rules, and a lot of them are let go. And these children are allowed to talk bad to them. Like, I've been in there. They talk bad. They're on their phones. They're walking around pants off they behind, girls with their bosoms out. Like, I mean, come on, man, it's rough, you all, but it all comes back to home. It's all on the parents. And that's why we have the WTF adulting out here, because we know a lot of you parents need help. A lot of you parents don't have the patience. You are working 2 jobs. You are doing a lot. You're doing so much. So the WTF is here to teach your team how to start adulting. So get in contact with us. Let us know you need some help, man. Stop letting your ego allow your child to destroy themselves, because that's all this is ego. That's the only reason why you haven't gotten the help for your child, because you don't want to seem inferior. Your ego is stopping you from getting the help that you need. And we're not here to look down upon you, talk bad about you, or anything. We want these young people to come up and run this world. And a lot of them are, but there's certain groups that I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the masses. Y'all know who I'm talking to. Stop acting like you don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to us. I'm talking to the ones that don't have the silver spoon. I'm talking to the ones that got a plastic spoon, and you bet not throw it away. Y'all know who I'm talking to. But here go my picture, man. I got to show this picture real quick. So before we jump off of here, let me, if I can figure out how to do it. You know, I'm technology challenged. And I just had this doggone picture up here because I swear I worked on this morning.
It'll come up. Ooh, that's you? You did
That's
that?
me.
Sheesh. Hey, that's cold, man. That's very telling too.
You hear me?
Very telling, yeah, man.
Yeah, this is what we're dealing with, you all. And again, that's why we have programs like the WTF and other programs that are out here to give you the help that you need, to give you the assistance that you need. We have the book, the Adulting WTF book, 5 steps to teach your teen how to become independent and learn this thing called adulting. It's some of us grown-ups need to read that book because we ain't doing it right.
Yeah, and I was about to say,
really want to focus on the parents. Go ahead, Dimitri.
Yeah, my bad, man. I was just about to say before we close, man. It was a comment that someone left, and it says, "I think our youth need help at 8, 9, 10. Waiting for teen years can be too late." And absolutely correct. I totally agree with you. And to answer that as a reply to that comment, we can get to them earlier by getting to the parents, because the parents are the parents, right? They can instill these values within their kids from birth, right? But if the parents don't know how to help their child transition and become responsible adults, then how can they pass that information on to their kids? So just like E said, hit us up in our DMs if you have a child that needs help transitioning from adolescence or teenage years into adulthood years. Send us a message, tell us what your situation is, and we'll get back with you and we'll find a solution for you. That's for teenagers now. But to answer or to reply to that comment about 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, parents, you do the same. Hit us up in our comments and in our DMs, because we can give you some tips, some tricks. In that book that Coach Big he wrote, hey, that's exactly what you need to get started on the road to helping your young adolescent, help them to get into the mindset to transition into adulthood earlier than their teenage years, right? So the earlier the better. So hit us up, parents. It's on you. It's on us.
Hey, that's what time it is, you all. We as a unit need to come together and put that ego to the side and take care of our babies, because we getting old. We're gonna need them to take care of us. And or if not, They'll just be glued to this and be zombies. And that's what we don't want. And if you doing that, stop. Open up a book. Let your kids see you reading a book. Be the example. You know how to read. We grew up in where we had to know how to read and write. Yeah. So open you a doggone book. Say, look, for 30 minutes, all devices turned off. Let's read a book for 30 minutes. Let's have dinner where you don't bring your phone to the table. Let's go back to how we used to do it. They can go back to their phone, but take a break from it. And that means you too. All right, man. I ain't got nothing else. Hey, I appreciate you all. Appreciate Katt Williams with the science he dropped you all. Katt, I'm gonna end it on this. Katt always say you gotta be in tune with your star player. That star player is you. You gotta be in tune with your star player. And once you get your star player right, your children are gonna follow your lead. They will. They want to be led.
Yeah.
And we're not leading them. We're allowing school to lead them. But that's all I got, man.
There we go. Hey, man. Well said. And yeah, if you all are interested in the WTF adulting book, hey, send us a message in our DMs. We'll be more than happy to send you a link, because I did see a comment that one of our viewers watched. And we do appreciate y'all. We up to 8 viewers today.
Hey,
let's get it. Let's go. All right. So thank y'all for joining us for another WTF Live Wednesday for the live stream. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for your time as well. And we'll see y'all next Wednesday. But before we leave, always remember that WTF not only stands for what's the formula, but it also stands for our motto and our mantra, what we stand for. Winning takes focus. All right. So until next Wednesday, y'all, stay focused, keep winning.
Yes.